Robin.
This is the old Sully.
Godsmack Sully.
This is the old Sully, the new Sully you heard today.
Oh, you want to hear that again?
No,
We could do that.
but that is.
We had
me.
Sully from Godsmack in yesterday, and he's a big fan of Jimmy and Jimmy's comedy.
Yeah, he comes every time in Boston. Sully comes.
And he was very bummed you weren't here yesterday. And Sully said, well, I'll do a little something for Jim Norton. We just played this, but, you know, people are tuning in all the time. So in case you missed it, here's Sully doing a little something for Jim Norton.
Good boy phone and your naughty boy phone. Your naughty boy phone and your good boy phone. Your good boy phone and your naughty boy phone. Naughty boy phone and your good boy phone. Your good boy phone is when you're home with the old crow. And your naughty boy phone is when nobody's home and that little fucking whore from Canada blows up your phone. It's your good boy phone and your naughty boy phone. Your naughty boy phone and your good boy phone. Your good boy phone and your naughty boy phone. Naughty boy phone and your good boy phone. I like the naughty boy phone.
How cool is Sully that he did that for Jim
Great.
Norton, huh?
Very.
Well, he could probably sense it's a hit.
Yeah.
He knows a hit when he hears one. But I want Sully to understand that I wrote that, and I don't want him taking credit for those amazing lyrics.
So what's going on in the halls, man?
You know what we need before the night? Yeah, oh, God. Yeah. Just uncomfortableness. Before I forget, though, you know what we need before Steven Wright comes in? Our guest.
Yeah, what?
2 little zip strip ties.
Oh.
To put around that fucking mic. We look like idiots every time a guest grabs the mic to bring it down, and every fucking time that mic pops out and the mic stand goes wah, springing up, and they're holding a mic, and then they got to try to snap it in. It's one of the most fucking embarrassing, uncomfortable moments.
But has it been addressed?
Yeah.
How come it's not fixed?
I don't know. I addressed it like last week.
Because Mars was touched as a kid.
It'll take 2
Oh,
zip ties to put on an angle over there and over there.
No, the reason is because Mars is a little distracted because on the after show yesterday, Mars basically, no, he said that Hispanics are known for touching their kids. Thank God he's Hispanic so he can say shit like that. Mars, what did you say in the after show? Because these guys missed it.
Well, first let me address this.
Okay.
The mic. When I do it too tight so it doesn't pop up.
I don't mean that. No. Grab the mic and go like this. Here's what guests do. They don't know better. They grab and that happens. It falls out of the clip.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking even like a zip strip here, one here will hold it in. It has nothing to do with the joints on there.
No problem.
Because guests, they're dummies. They don't know where to grab we know to grab like the whole mic stand or grab it like this. But they just grab the microphone and pull it toward themselves, and the whole thing comes out. The bar goes up, and they're left like idiots standing there.
Sometimes they get hit in the face.
Yeah, they get hit in the face with it. I mean, sometimes it's funny depending on the guest, but you know.
Oh.
I'll certainly take care of it.
And tell these guys, you think Hispanics touch their kids, and you're Hispanic, so you're allowed to
is
say
that what they do a lot?
There's a lot of it in the
Hispanic community.
Hispanic community.
Why is that?
I don't know. I really don't know. It bothers the fuck out of me, though.
Were you touched?
I was not touched, but I've seen. But
he's seen it enough in his circle. And your family, maybe your family's twisted and demented.
It's outside of my family as well. I mean, even Roland also advocated that it does happen.
But Roland said he wasn't touched, so where's his knowledge
he
coming
did say
from?
he had some uncles he had to stay away from.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I think that was more of a joke on Roland's part.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. I think.
Now,
it was
what happens? Is it like male, older male on younger female? Is that what goes on?
Yes. I see that.
Who touched you?
No one touched me.
Oh.
Who showed you something they shouldn't have showed you? Someone showed you something. Who showed you?
Yeah, why are you denying it?
But what did they show you? Was it dirty pictures or was it a...
No one showed me. I've just.
What do you have a friend. Okay.
What have you seen?
Hey, have a friend.
What have you seen?
What is that?
Yeah, why don't you fucking pee standing up like the rest of us? Thanks for reminding me, Sam.
Oh,
I didn't remember.
shit.
Are you pee sitting down?
Yeah, he does.
No, I don't.
Oh, that speaks
Like
volumes.
a bitch. Like a bitch.
Oh, you
don't pee like a bitch.
You
Mars
pee
pees
standing
like
up.
a bitch.
That speaks
No.
volumes.
But how do you pee?
Did
Standing
I
up?
pee standing up?
Okay.
But when he's shitting, he doesn't piss. Like he'll take a shit
That's weird.
and then he'll wipe and he'll walk to the urinal to piss. Because
What?
he don't piss like a bitch.
Wait, you don't pee in the toilet where you shit? That's psychotic.
Doesn't pee
Everyone
sitting
does
down.
that.
Oh, you don't pee
You have to.
sitting down.
You actually. You're holding in. That's a weird control thing. Oh, he was molested. That's a fucking. That's a control thing.
If you're sitting on the
Yeah.
bowl, why wouldn't you do both?
That's a weird control thing.
I don't know. Since a kid, I never did like it. It feels funny.
Oh, it's from the touching.
That's
Yeah.
Why do you need to
He don't want to be a
control-
bitch.
you're adding too many steps.
He was treated maybe like.
so he doesn't pee like a bitch.
He's not gonna pee like a bitch.
Oh, we pee like bitches.
Yeah.
White
Oh,
boys.
wow, that's completely
Yeah,
different.
white boys pee like bitches,
Bitches.
on this.
Why I gotta be
sitting
racist?
down.
Sam?
I don't know, because it's this show.
Well, Sam started, not you, Anthony. It was fucking
Well, I'm
Sam.
white,
over
so
here.
I could say white guys pee like bitches. Like you say Hispanics get touched when they're kids. I think yours was a little worse.
Ooh. Kill yourself, Sam.
All right,
Come
Mars.
back.
Julia from Cape Cod. She wants to maybe reiterate or
All
back
right.
up the claims.
All right, Marzi,
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
we got Julia on the phone.
Hi, Julie.
Ju-
Julia.
Julia.
Can we hear that?
Julia.
Well, it's better than me calling.
Good evening.
Hi, Julia.
Go ahead, Julia. Sorry, just getting all this stuff out of the way.
What part of Cape Cod and how far are you from Fagtown?
Oh.
I am not that far from Fagtown. I'm in Wellfleet,
Oh.
so it's just a little bit south. But I wanted to mention that, Hispanic people touch their kids a lot, and I think it has to do with the sexualization of kids at a really young age. They put them in those little whore outfits when they're
Those
like
little
3.
fucking carnival outfits.
Hey, my friend Hector's not gonna like this. Pack of lies.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, Julia.
Hold on, Julia. This is for you.
This is for you. We got a song for you.
Okay.
This is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The white glove in case the vagina gets on his fingers.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So bad.
I have a theory. Maybe we've said this.
Oh, you have a theory?
I have a theory that his father was happy to. This is just a guess.
Oh, yeah.
My theory is that his father bankrolled this whole thing
Yeah.
because he had suspicions about his son, and
Perhaps,
he's like,
sure.
"Please show interest in a girl.
Yeah.
I'll pay for it. Whatever you want to do."
I need a video packed with girls.
My friends are asking questions. Change it from Julio to Julia, and I'll pay for the video.
He's whining.
It looks. And he filmed it in Beverly Hills, it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think these people went to the?
Dude, this video had to cost $1 million. It has the look of any other really nice video you've seen on MTV.
It's got girls. It's got a lighting director, a DP, double penetration.
Rented a Rolls Royce, I believe.
Yeah, rolls.
Beverly
That's
Hills.
probably his father.
was
Probably owned it.
Don't spoil the end, where he's the Rolls Royce driver. Look, he's around all these hot girls. Julia, uncontrollable. On the floor. Evermore. Got me crying evermore.
Out for more.
Oh, out for more. Got me crying out for more. Oh, gotcha.
All right, Julia in Cape Cod, that was for you. So you want to back up Mars's Hispanics touching their children thing?
Yeah, how you know this?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because, just like black men have large penises, we know that, the Spanish men tend to, diddle their children because they sexualize them at such a young age. Like, you see them walking around those little mini skirts when they're like 2 and their ears get pierced. And
The
they look
hoochie
like
mama
little-
outfits.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well,
it
let me
happens.
tell you something, Julia. You're uncontrollable.
You sure are.
I don't know. I've never heard that song before. How
And you'll never hear it again.
Thank God.
What a bomb. Yeah. Well, thanks for the info.
Thank you, gentlemen.
He's
Stay
back that up.
Did Mars have like a Hispanic Uncle Paul?
There was
Uncle Paulo.
Hold on.
Uncle Paulo.
To get personal,
Sure.
in my family, there were three.
Three girls.
Three uncles that needed to stay away from.
Really? And none of them got to
Wait,
you,
wait,
huh?
None of them got to one is dead already. You know,
Wait,
fuck
uncles
him.
through marriage or the bloodline?
Bloodline.
Oh, man.
And everybody knew it?
Wait, so who's brothers? Who's brothers?
Not
Your
like,
dad's brothers or your mom's brothers?
mom's brothers.
Mom's brothers.
They didn't know it
Bad
at the
boys.
time when it was happening. After the
You
fact,
got touched.
You know what? I remember.
It explains the MMA shit and everything else.
I remember when
This guy's never going to be touched again, right, Mars?
me and Hector were talking, and he kept saying, "Hey, Mars, let me show you Uranus."
Oh,
Hey, Mars.
no.
We're
Under
doing
the guise that it's a planet,
all
I
the
bet.
planets, and
Yeah.
look at the two little moons in the sack. You juggle those little moons in the sack.
How do the uncles get you in the shed?
Yeah, what do they do?
Do they say, hey, you want to look at some hubcaps?
Oh, in the back of that landscaping truck with all that grass blowing around, no one could see.
Yeah, every time he sees mulch, he gets a hard on and throws up when he smells a little mulch.
Mars, that's why you're an MMA guy.
Yeah,
You're
Yeah,
not,
you gotta
you're not going to be
defend
touched
yourself.
ever again. This is basic
Yeah.
psychology.
pure control, sitting
Or
not
psychiatry,
pissing.
whatever the one is, the one that talks, and the other one is the drugs. I didn't never know the difference, but go.
Psychiatrists can do drugs like doctors.
Psychology is like therapist shit.
Right.
Yeah, psychiatrists are doctors.
Gotcha. So it's psychology 101.
I think he was sitting. He doesn't like sitting down to take a piss, even when he's taking a dump, because maybe when he was younger, he was treated like a girl.
Sure.
And now he doesn't want to do anything girlish.
Because he don't pee like a bitch.
That's it. I ain't being a bitch again. is what
Maybe
he's
you're
saying.
right about that.
Oh shit.
Now Anthony, now that
Aw,
you
shit.
say that,
Yeah.
maybe my father was a little too fucking strict on being macho.
Hey, don't you be no bitch.
Why didn't your father beat the shit out of the uncles?
They didn't know about this stuff.
Instead of allowing them to touch
It was
you.
their little.
No one touched me.
It was their little El Secreto.
No one touched me.
I tried to throw,
they did.
I tried to throw that by him.
I know. I saw that.
It didn't work.
And I tell you why
pan
no
out.
one touched me, because my father was a bodybuilder. He was a big fucking dude. And
Was he?
everybody, yes.
Oh, shit.
A professional bodybuilder.
What was that about?
Maybe he was gay. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there all the
Why are
time.
you selling the whole clan down the river? We should bring him in.
Okay.
Steven Wright's here
Oh, he's
already?
here?
We should just bring him in. He's 8:30, right on time.
Oh, I thought he was later. No problem.
Oh.
Yeah, tell him.
Yeah, bring in
Bring him in,
Steven Wright.
Roland. We can get hard on talk about Mars in a little bit.
Bring him in, Roland.
Another Boomer in Jersey. Boomer.
Yeah.
Hey, Boomer.
Hey, it's true. I married a Puerto Rican girl from an all-white town and never dealt with Puerto Rican people before. And I have two daughters. She has a couple of uncles that they're known for touching kids. My daughters were never allowed to be around them. Anytime they showed up at a barbecue, my wife would not show up with the kids because it's known in the family that these guys have touched kids in the family and they don't rat them out.
The phones are lit in.
It's amazing.
All right, we're gonna continue this topic. Stephen Wright's making his way into the studio. Jeff on Long Island reminding us that Ant was almost touched by a Mexican.
That is true.
So we might have to go back to this subject after Stephen Wright.
Yes,
For the
yes.
first time in our studio,
Yes.
Stephen Wright.
There it is.
Stephen, how are you, sir?
How you doing? Anthony? There you go.
What's up, man?
Opie.
Great to meet you finally. You don't do the handshake thing? Or is it because
Oh,
you have
why
coffee and
bother?
stuff? Yeah.
I don't like touching people either.
Yeah, I'm not I don't like shaking hands
I just
anymore.
washed. I feel good about myself.
You just stopped a few years ago?
Yeah.
Finally had it with the greasy
Too many
hands?
like greasy-handed
Yeah.
fans and yeah. It just feels like a petri
Come
dish.
sit down, Steven.
Yeah, you can take.
How you doing, man?
You can see
See you, buddy.
the
Fucking
immortal
Stephen.
Jim Norton.
Fucking Stephen Wright in studio. This is cool, man. We've been fans forever. We've been trying to get you on the show probably for a decade.
Yeah.
And it finally happened. Yeah, I think so. It just never kind of worked out. That's all.
Boston fan.
What's your name?
Sam.
That's young Sam Roberts.
Yeah.
Sam Roberts. What a cool name.
Yeah, it is kind of a cool name. He's not a cool person.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
it is a cool
You're
name.
wearing the Red Sox hat. Obviously a Boston guy, but are you a Bruins fan?
I hadn't watched the Bruins since the Bobby Orr days. That's a lot of people. That happens to a lot of people like my age. Like just
They
and
gave
then
up after Bobby
You know,
Orr.
I'd see like a part of a game over the years, maybe not even a whole period. Just like, and then about 5 weeks ago, I don't know why, I just tuned in. Like, oh, let me see what's going on here, and I watched the game, and I was like, wow, this is pretty intense. This is amazing. The back and forth, it was like incredible, and I got caught up in it. So I've been watching it like for 5 weeks. So my timing was just
Perfect. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't have to sit through all the early
39 years on it.
39 years, and you tuned in at the perfect time. That is true.
As they're making their run. Yeah. Who needed those 39 years when the last 5 weeks were great?
Wow, that is great timing. Jesus, you saved yourself a lot of heartache.
Oh, boy, did you. A couple decades worth.
You're doing stand. I was happy to see Steven's in promoting the Newport Yachting Center, July the 21st. It's a 7:30 show at Middletown, Rhode Island. NewportComedy.com, or if you just one of the old school phone guys, just go 800-745-3000. And have you been doing stand up all along, or did you take a break and going back to it?
No, I do it like off and on throughout the year. I never take like no, don't do it at all. I do it scattered throughout the year.
Oh, okay. When you get the urge to?
Well, no, it has to be lined up in advance. But it's like okay, I want to do a certain amount of shows and have this time off and do it. I do a bunch of them, then I don't do it, then I'll do one, and then I won't do it, then I'll do like 8 of them, then I won't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's been since, like, the 80s?
Yeah, since about
wow.
82.
Jesus Christ, just touring around like
He came out of Boston with all the guys, man.
Oh, yeah.
Why was Boston so hot for comics in the 80s? There's some heavyweights that came out of there. At the same time as Steve.
A lot of great comedians. Leno's before that, though, right? Isn't he?
Yeah,
a little
bit years before.
But Steven,
I saw
Leary, Conan. I mean, Conan's not a stand-up, but he's from. But there's a shitload of guys from
I
Boston.
saw a great documentary on Boston comics, and then and Steven Wright was the first one to break out and go to L.A. and be on Carson, right, at the time?
Yeah, that
1982.
documentary was when stand-up stood out.
Yeah, it's a great documentary because all these guys were kind of doing their thing in Boston, and he was the first one to get the call. And then after that, they kind of followed Steven Wright.
I don't know why that all those people. I don't know why that happened like that.
Yeah, some kind of magic.
It was just like.
Well, who'd you come up with? Jimmy mentioned a bunch of them. It was Dennis Leary,
Paula Poundstone, Kevin Meaney, Bobcat Goldthwait.
I forgot someone big out of Boston too. I know. I know
Lenny Clark.
Right.
Oh, Lenny, yeah.
We love Lenny. He does the show.
He does? Isn't he? He's from another planet.
He's a riot.
Oh, Louis. You're before Louis, though. Louis is probably a few years after you, Louis C.K.
Yeah, Louis was after, I think. But
Nick DiPaolo, I think also after you. Nick is probably late 80s, maybe early 90s.
Nick's angry.
Oh, Nick is Boston.
Yeah.
He's the greatest.
Nick is
You know Nick, right?
Boston.
Yeah. Oh, he's great. If Boston had a face, it would be Nick. Going, what the fuck do you want? Were you doing comedy? I've read a lot about you. You were doing comedy for 10 months before you did the Tonight Show?
Oh, no, 3 years.
Oh, was it 3 years? See, you read all these bullshit
10
facts.
months
Okay.
would be like, holy shit.
That didn't seem right to me, but I was like, well, there's actors right for the Tonight Show. It's very clean and it's a lot of stuff. Okay, 3 years. That makes me feel a little bit better.
3 years still is like, it had to be a little nerve-wracking, though, because, goddamn, especially then it was Carson,
It was surrealistic. I mean, I wanted to go on there. Like, that's why I wanted to do this, to maybe someday go on there. You know, when I got it in my head when I was 15. So then, like, doing in the clubs, and then, like, Peter LaSalle came to Boston. He was the producer of The Tonight Show. He came to look at colleges for his kids.
Oh, Jesus, God. Wow, what a
in the
stroke of luck.
summer of 82. And someone wrote an article. There was a club called the Ding Ho Comedy Club. It was half Chinese restaurant, half that was in the movie,
right?
Someone wrote about an article about it, and it went in the L.A. Times. So he had that club in his head. So then I don't know how much long later, 8 months later, when he came to Boston, he remembered the club, and he wanted to go in the club. And then he saw he saw me in there, and 3 weeks later, I was on the Tonight Show.
Wow,
It was like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Did you know he was there?
Yeah.
Oh, you knew he was in the room, so you
he
did
was
just
there.
smart or a good set.
And that was when there was only 3, maybe 4 channels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you're on TV, it's cool and all, but back then, 1982, going on Carson? Oh,
Yeah,
my
a lot of
God.
people were watching you.
That means
Wow, man.
overnight success, obviously. You go from
Yeah.
no one knowing your name to everyone the next day.
Yeah, that changed my career, my whole life.
Sure.
What happened
That
right after?
one, like, in just like 8 minutes. Like,
One
I don't
lousy
think-
8
I
minutes
think that
set.
can happen now because
It's hard.
Yeah,
It's a lot harder.
What happened with
After you did your Tonight Show, the next day, was it like wherever you went, people had seen you on the show? Or how did it meet? Because I know immediately back then, things were just different.
Yeah.
Especially if he like called you over or if he acknowledged that he enjoyed you.
It was a couple of days later. I was in Dodger Stadium watching a game. When the first time I ever got recognized. It was like 3 days later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah. It's a weird feeling, right?
Yeah, it is.
And then he's like, get the hell away from me.
No,
First time you're ever recognizing you, just, hey, come on, I'm trying to have a moment here.
No, you talk to people when they first start recognizing you. You really talk to them like, "Oh, thanks a lot." Were you home with your friend? You know, you ask a lot of questions.
Stay a while.
Yeah.
Where you going?
2 years later, you're like, "Oh, why don't you just throw yourself into a fucking ditch? You saw the show, drop dead. Thanks." Fucking trying to eat.
Oh my God.
That's horrible.
So we've heard.
Too true, though. No,
Yeah. After a while, it gets a little,
That's what we were
First
talking.
time.
Yeah, we were talking about. Just even something like shaking hands. We would do these events, and you realize by the 50th person, you just how many clammy fish belly hands can you shake without? And then you have that horrifying moment where you get done and you're just tired and you don't realize like you're eating a slice of pizza and went, shit, I didn't watch. I ate it already.
Hope no one had hep.
Yeah, you just don't know what the hell you're throwing in your mouth.
But we love them. We love it. Every single one.
Oh, yeah, every single one of them.
Love them
I stopped touching my face while I'm working out because I realized, like, I'm on the elliptical, and it's like
You must be
people's-
able to touch your face all the time. See, I'm implying you
Because I
don't
have
work
man
out.
tits. Yeah, you're right. You're correct.
All right.
But no, man, you start your hands are on the thing, and
Yeah.
you're like, I didn't even wipe this down first. I'm fucking like, touching my nose or like
Itching
scratching my
everything,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
This does make you a little germy, kind of.
Fuck yeah.
You kind of get a little because
I
you
would-
deal with too many
I
people.
wish I didn't have it. Like, I wish I wasn't aware, like, of it.
Is it like an issue, like a big issue with you, or is it just kind of I'd rather not?
I'd rather not. It just creeped in over the years. You
Yeah.
know, those TV shows, when they investigate murders and stuff, and they're going through the room with the light, the blue light, and all the scum is all over. Well, this isn't scum, but it's not his scum. This is someone else. Wasn't involved in the murder, but look at this, Frank. And then it's like, little tiny things, and it's like, well, wait a minute. That's, that seeps in. These shows seep in. So you don't know.
You start thinking about it.
Yeah.
Now you obviously stay at a lot of hotels.
Oh,
so is that a
doesn't even
nightmare
wanna
for
talk
you?
about
It's
it.
not a nightmare, but your brain, my brain has little, like, things so I can function. It's like,
Yeah.
you can't think of everything. Like you were thinking of the equipment. I think of the exercise equipment. I ride an exercise bike, so I'm super aware of when I'm in there doing that. But the hotel room, I got a block, part of my brain, they shut down the fuses. Like, do not think of this. Otherwise, you can't go anywhere.
You mean you don't roll up in the bedspread as soon as you get to your room?
Bring my
You
own
know
sheet.
they don't watch those things ever.
Oh, the bedspreads?
Oh, man.
Yes, because when they do
Why would they watch those?
Yeah, they do the sheets and stuff. But
Yeah, but the bedspread, I bet you they have a protocol once a year, maybe.
Yeah, I don't touch the bedspreads.
They do a
Steven's
bedspread run.
Steven's head is in his hands right now.
Sorry.
It's,
no. When they investigated Mike Tyson, remember that when he was accused of rape?
Yeah.
They went in and I can't believe I know this.
It's all right.
They found sperm on the bedspread, but it wasn't his.
Oh,
So then that sticks in my head. So from then on, bedspreads would, like, as soon as I go in, I just
yeah, peel it off.
Not that it's
Get
going to
rid of
do
it.
anything. Your sperm's not going to hurt you, is it, Jim?
Probably not, no. I hate when I get it in the eye, because that does give you a pink eye, believe me. I shut up a tough crowd once, my eye was red. And someone's like, what happened? I'm like, if you want a real answer, I'll give it to you. You're not going to like it.
You're not going to like the answer
Yeah,
I'm going to get.
that's why they call me the distance kid.
Distance kid.
Oh, yeah.
What gets me in hotels is the TV remote. Because I know personally,
Look, he
I've had
knows all this.
I've had relations in a hotel room, and then you just kind of roll over, and your hands were everywhere.
First
and
thing
then
you do is grab the
grabbing
remote.
You're changing channels.
That's the
worst
of
thing.
the whole room.
Right.
That's
Because
the
everyone's
worst thing.
touching
It's
it.
a known thing. It's not my opinion. That's the worst thing in the whole.
Yeah,
remote.
the worst thing. That remote probably lights up like a Peter Max painting when they put the black light on it.
Do you know, hotels, they also clean a lot too, but that's only the areas you're going to, the faucet. They do more cleaning than probably most people too, because every day there's could be a maid in there washing. But I'm like, Steven, I block it out, because it could drive you crazy, but then I'm like, you know what?
You just can't think about it.
I fucked so many times without a rubber. Fuck it.
What can I possibly
what are they
get
gonna do to
that
me?
I don't have already?
I think we're making our guest a little uncomfortable.
No,
he's
yeah.
looking around the room.
No.
He's like,
He deals with this.
It's great because you have to deal with it, and you're able to, which is good. It's not like well, I stay in a trailer or I have a truck bring me places like John Madden and have it scrubbed down wherever you go. You're able
he's
to,
reaching for tissues.
you're
Like,
able-
why don't we move on to
I don't
something
even need
else?
it. It's subconscious. I don't even know why I was.
yeah,
doing it.
just,
like-
just let me hold this.
Let me hold this. I might need it.
But it's an interesting psychology, because we all have it to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like-
it's
Yeah,
where your
yes.
where your line is.
Yeah,
Like Howie Mandel is
Mandel's crazy with
he's
it,
the
yeah.
go-to guy. Like, well, I'm not as bad as Howie. Like when you're drinking and drugging, you're like, well, I'm not as bad as that guy. Howie is the germ guy.
It's driving him nuts.
Yeah,
How about
Howie's
that guy?
He's having a
You
tough
mean me?
time with that. Last time he was in here, he was telling us he was having a tough time with that.
and he's open about it and he talks about it. It's hard, because once you get something in your head, man, it's fucking. You know who got me started on it? Rich Voss.
Oh,
Rich Voss got me started. I don't shake hands. And I shake hands,
it's like no one wants to shake your hand, Rich.
but he has horrible little rock hands.
They are like
he doesn't want
midget
human
hands.
interaction at all.
Right, I didn't realize with Rich, it's obviously it's a long line of rapes.
You can't touch this guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he suffered many.
As soon as you touch him, he just gets all like, he gets really uncomfortable.
That's great.
What do you mean he has rock hands?
Oh, his hands are he has small gargoyle hands. They're really unpleasant visually, and they feel terrible. They're not nice hands to touch.
He plays a lot of golf, so he has those really thick over-the-top calluses.
They're the hands of a dummy. Like if you've ever seen what a dummy's hands should feel like, they're Voss.
The hands of a working man. But
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't be happy if he wouldn't find out about it. I would like people to Twitter Voss. He has dumb. I told him his hands are like turtle feet.
Well, what can he can't. What can he do about it? Though?
Nothing. He has to
You
live
just want him to know.
Doomed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you know Voss? He's a comedian. He's a buddy of mine. Okay.
Rich is right now going, she knows me. We met one time. Shut up. No one remembers you.
hey, how was it winning an Oscar? I think Steven Wright might be the first Oscar winner in our studio.
Ooh. Really?
I'm trying to think. You might be right.
I think you're the only one, sir. And we've been doing this a long time. 1989, right?
Dreyfus never won one?
Was
Did Dreyfus win? He
here?
was in, XM.
I remember. Yeah, Richard was in.
Did he
it,
ever
yeah.
win though?
I don't know.
I love him.
Yeah, isn't he
He's
great?
funny.
But you
Yeah.
you have an Oscar, right?
Yeah.
Where's that Oscar right now?
It's on a table in my house, in my living room.
Nice.
Was that
That is
89?
pretty
That was
good.
way after. Was that 8 after that? Because I remember Barry Katz.
Best short film, 1989.
Oh, it was.
I
Okay, Barry
believe.
Katz told me about it for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, that was incredibly weird because we made a film for HBO. We didn't even make it to go in the theater.
Yeah.
I mean, we went in there to see if we could make a half-an-hour movie, and they said yeah, and then we wrote it, and me and my friend Mike Armstrong wrote it, and Dean Paraso directed it, and then we gave it to them, and they liked it a lot, so then they played it in the theaters, and if it plays in New York or L.A., then it's eligible, and then it was nominated, and then it won. We didn't even make it. We made it, it was like throwing a dart, like this thing was called The Appointments of Dennis Jennings. It was like throwing that to HBO, like, and a big gust of wind blew it 50 miles to the right, and it went in. Where did it go? Oh, it's stuck in over there.
Oh, that Oscar.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's realistic.
How long of a film is it? 20?
30 minutes.
Oh, 30 minutes?
And when they call the name, do you just go like, I
Just
can't. I won this.
Just
What
weird.
happened?
Like it's happening, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
And me and the director went up, and I said, "This is for the short film category, and we're really glad now that we cut out the other 60 minutes."
There's your Steven Wright right there.
Perfect, man.
That must have gotten a massive laugh. That is very funny.
Dreyfus did win for Goodbye Girl. The Goodbye Girl, 1977. All right.
I would have thought it was for Mr. Holland's Opus.
Nominated.
And someone's saying Sinbad won an Oscar. Get the fuck out of here.
What did he win
Someone
for?
just fucking around now.
Yeah, they have to be. They have to be.
Have you guys known each other before the show?
Yeah, kind of. I
we
used to
met-
come on his show.
Yeah.
I was in construction for many years. I
yeah?
never did radio or anything, and then I was doing song parodies and stuff. So I sent a few. It was during the O.J. Simpson thing.
Yeah, we didn't really
sent it into his show, and
Yeah.
he played it. The fans liked it. He invited me in to do it live, and then we just started talking, and it was like, oh,
Now
Great.
we've been doing
Fantastic.
Left my
17 years.
tools.
We're up to.
Wow.
And then we went up to Massachusetts to radio at WAAF, and I just threw my tools out the window, my sheet metal worker tools
fuck that.
out the window, and thought, I could always buy new ones
But
if
it
I
is-
fall on my ass.
It is weird we're doing a radio show
Right.
because OJ killed those people, though. Kind
Yeah.
of strange. That's
Yes.
the only
Yeah.
reason we got together.
If OJ didn't commit
No,
those
I-
heinous crimes,
that is the truth. I don't know if we would have met if
I'd
OJ
still be in an attic.
because OJ had to kill the people that made him go. I'm going to write a song about it. I heard about the song. I played the song, and that's why we're doing radio.
Do you know if you ever meet
yeah.
OJ's, if you ever meet Denise Nicole's sister, you should
Brown
say,
Simpson,
"Do
yeah.
I have a story for you?"
Yeah,
but
right.
think
God.
lemons and lemonade.
yes. But how else do you think of the good that came of it?
We wouldn't have met. It was just one of those chance things.
No.
Wow.
And 17 years later, we're still.
Was your show
Still doing
in
this.
here?
Oh no, this goes back
Long
to
Island.
Long
Long
Island.
Island, then you went together to Boston.
Yeah.
For how long did you go to Boston?
3 years about, and then we got fired
We
for
were the mayor guys
saying the mayor Menino died
In a
when
car
we got
accident?
in trouble. Yeah,
for
that was
April
great.
Fools. We were those guys.
Ooh, we were
God.
we were wacky. Look out!
Yeah, we were those guys.
And then they
And did
rewarded
they
us.
run us out of town?
They rewarded us by giving us a higher paying job right here back in New York City. So, hey,
And that
great.
wasn't good enough
We
for
get
us,
to
so
come
we
home.
fucked that gig up.
Yeah, we fucked that up, and then got a better job.
I came on
that's
around.
great.
I came with
Yeah.
him about 2000. Here's how when they fucked the gig up.
In here?
No, this was at WNEW. It was an afternoon drive show.
Yeah, on the regular standard radio.
I was paying $300 a month to live with a comedian named Jim Florentine in Jersey and his girlfriend. So it was a $900 rent, split 3 ways. I say, fuck it, I'm going to move into New York. So I'm on the radio every day. I pick up a rent that is 7 times higher. 7 times higher. A $2,200 a month rent. And 5 months later, we're off the air. And I have a 2-year lease.
Oh, shit.
You've never seen a panic-stricken fucking person.
Whoops.
27, 5 months later.
No
off
wonder
the
you
air.
were blowing Colin.
I couldn't have thrown you guys under the bus faster for Colin when Tough Crowd came around. I was like, oh, fuck those guys. Come on, Colin.
Help me out. Okay, come on.
Reservoir Dogs is so cool, too, every time I watch it, because we've had Madsen.
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
You're a part of like an amazing cult. It's nice. I love to see comedians in places like that. It kind of gives you hope.
Yeah, that is. It's. You don't realize how huge of a part that is in that movie to set the mood. You know,
Yeah.
it's Steelers Wheel.
A lot of
You
people
announcing
love that.
Steelers Wheel, and
I still
the,
think when I hear that song, I think of that.
that's.
scene in
I
that
think.
movie.
I think
How could he
everyone
not?
thinks
How
that.
could he not at this point?
And I'm glad you're here because I could ask whose idea was it to say behemoth.
Well, I did like 1 or 2 takes of each thing, and I stumbled on that one, and I did it again to make it right, but he chose that one.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Behemoth, you know, and the way it goes, behemoth. It gets me every time, man.
It works.
Yeah,
I was
that,
lucky to get in there because the woman who edited his movie, Sally Menke, she edited the Dennis Jennings movie that I made. So the whole movie was
Oh, wow.
almost done. Like Reservoir Dogs was almost done, but he didn't have the voice. He knew the guy was going to be on the radio, but he didn't have the voice. And she suggested me, and he liked the idea. So that's
So what
how
you're
it happened.
saying is you're the luckiest guy in show business. That's pretty much what I'm
There's
getting.
a lot of
from
lucky
this.
stories here.
That's true.
It's another dart being thrown somewhere.
Just say because I'm talented. Enough with the lucky story.
He's had some amazing, really good luck. That is-
Oh yeah, yes.
It
No, he
is.
is obviously a
I
talent.
have, really.
You're a
I know
brilliant-
that, too. I know.
Now you're a
I-
brilliant comic, Stephen Wright.
Yeah,
But a lot of it is
everybody,
right place, right
You
time
really
too.
are.
It's
It
like
is.
it's nice. Again,
That's with anything, man. Of course. Yeah, but you got to be able to back it up. You know, I've seen people get lucky, and then it's like, oh, yeah, they suck. That's right.
But stand-up is such a, like, I watched recently with the HBO, what was the young comedians thing you did? It was, I think, at Catch in New York. They filmed it.
Yeah, with Alan King is the host.
The host, yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That was in 82.
82. I remember Steven from that. I used to watch those when I was younger.
I used to watch those all the time.
And to see a stand-up being so opposite what everybody else, because everybody, especially in the early 80s, was fucking high energy and crazy.
Yeah.
And then to come out and just silence people and make them listen to that was really a ballsy.
Yeah. You got to have a lot of confidence in your material when you're pretty much just monotone and quiet.
I can, but I didn't know how to do it another way. You know, it wasn't like, well, I'll do this. You know, it was just my only. I know what you're saying. I know your angle on that, but I didn't know how to do it any other way. And when in the early days when there was a lot of talking in the audience, hecklers and stuff, noise, you know, when the place is noisy in the club, I would just talk softer. And it would quiet the room down because I was talking even lower than I normally did. Because I didn't know how to, like, say wisecrack things, interact like a, you know, like a guy like Lenny would. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just bash a heckler or something.
I didn't know what to do.
That's a great idea, though, because that obviously would force the people to shut the hell up and.
It worked. I don't know why it worked. They could have just talked even more or ignored me.
Yeah.
But somehow I stumbled on it by accident. You know how you learn things by accident.
Yeah.
Like little tiny things happen, and you go, and your brain goes, well, wait a minute, I got to remember that for future reference. And this whole thing starts piling up. You know, because you're your own teacher. You're your student. You're a student and your own teacher. Yeah. So that was like I stumbled on that. Okay, now when that happens again, I'll talk softly.
And it's weird. So you see alternative comics. To me, I've always thought they all want to be Steven in that, but they miss what he does, which is has great jokes. Like a lot of them are funny, but they want a deadpan and they want to be they want their words concentrated on, but they forget that you have to have funny stuff to say too. And not all comics, but I mean that when I watched that movement happening, I was like, they're all trying to be Steven and they don't even know it. But you would go up there, not 1 ounce of muscling jokes, no bullshit, just stand there and quietly and fucking murder. And it was like, there's something, he makes it look like, wow, that's going to be easy to do. And then you try it, it's like, holy shit, they won't stop talking. It's hard.
Where did that come from growing up? I guess, did you just observe a lot of stuff and realize, wow, that's pretty strange? I could twist that around and make it funny.
No, I didn't really write any jokes till I wanted to do this. I had it in my head since I was 15, and then I went to school and college and everything. I went out west to Colorado and California, and I came back. My brother was getting married. I came back in '79 because he was getting married. When I came back, I heard of the Comedy Connection. I didn't even know there was a club in Boston. And then I thought, well, I've had this in my head since I was 15. I better go down to the club. This is amazing. I don't have to go to New York or L.A. I don't think I had the strength as a 23-year-old. I didn't have the balls to move to New York.
To leave,
I didn't have really a plan. It was a fantasy to do this. Right. Well, when I came back and I heard the club was right there, I was like, well, I got to go down and check it out. So I went down and I watched a show, and I learned that the open mic night was in 2 weeks. So it was every week, but I decided I would go in 2 weeks. And then I wrote stuff during that time to go back, but I had never written any jokes before that.
Really? Did you get laughs the first night?
I was on for about 3 minutes, and they laughed at about half of it, you know, like in and out, and I mean, I was so nervous. That's one reason I had the straight. I have a straight face kind of anyway, but I was petrified. Such an introvert, you know, just like, oh my. So I was like this, like trying to remember the joke, say the right joke. What's next? Just like if someone had a gun on me off stage. If you make a mistake, they're gonna blow your head off. And then it just worked. I mean, that's how I talk anyway. But, But, so Mike, you know Mike McDonald, comedian?
I know the name, I don't know him.
Well, he was doing it already. I went to Emerson with him, and Larry was at Emerson too, and Mario Cantone was at Emerson.
Oh, wow, okay. Another Boston guy.
I'm going to see him tonight in Caroline's.
Is he doing Caroline's?
Yeah, and he's amazing. What a mind he has, jeez. So, I forgot what I said. Oh, Mike, I came off and I was very disappointed. I thought, that was horrible. They didn't laugh at everything. But out of innocence, out of not knowing. And Mike said, look, you never even did it ever in your life. And they laughed at half of it. So rip out the stuff that didn't work and write other stuff and put it in and then come back. And so when I left, from him saying that to me, I've said this many times over the years, I left the place seeing it like a positive experience rather than like, oh shit, that sucked.
Right.
I leave the place and I'm going, I can't believe it. They laughed at something I made up. I absolutely can't believe it. Cool. And then I kept going back. So he had a big impact on me.
That one guy being nice to you, it is weird how that can make or break you.
Yeah, if somebody else came up and went, you suck.
Stories about that.
Don't quit your day job.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, thanks.
But
thanks for the support.
Another comedian, it is nice when somebody in the business, because, you know, people can be very cutthroat, but sees a guy who's young and it's like, hey, he's funny, and just tells you something. People don't realize what an impact that really has. I always try to be nice to younger comics, because I remember, like, when people were nice to me and talked to me like I meant something, it was an incredibly... If they would have let me know I was not going to be in their club, I never would have come back. If they would have let me know, like, you're not going to be a part of this ever. But they were very welcoming. Most comics were pretty good.
Did you love it, like, right from that first time, even though you were nervous? When you got off stage, were you just thinking, I want to do that again?
I knew I wanted to do it again. I don't know if I said it. I guess I love it. I didn't think that I loved it. I loved the idea that I was 23 and I had it in my head to be a comedian since I was 15. So what is that, like 8 years? I thought 8 years it was a concept, and then that night they laughed at a joke I made up. So that was like a turning point. I was like, geez.
Where do you think you were headed if it wasn't for comedy?
I went to Emerson for mass communication doing radio.
Oh, okay.
I thought I could be funny on the radio, I would somehow get to stand up, but I didn't know how.
He's got.
You're a busy guy today.
Well, the Stanley Cup is a block away from here, and I hear you're going to be going down there and hoisting it or something.
No, I'm not hoisting it. What happened?
I'm not going to hoist this thing.
No, I'm not touching that.
I'd like to hang out longer.
Oh, good. Well,
yes.
Yeah, your guys are telling me.
Absolutely.
No problem then.
I go in to get this coffee on the way here, and the woman comes in with a Bruins hat, and she sees my Red Sox hat. Oh, did you see the series? Oh, I'm going to see the Stanley Cup. What? I'm going to see the Stanley Cup. It's on 47th and 6th. She said, that's why I'm here. So then I'm thinking, oh my God, I can do the show and then go down there and see. It's unbelievable. And I was telling Pam that, like, this wouldn't have happened. I live in Carlisle, Massachusetts. If I went in Dunkin' Donuts, you know, this morning to get a coffee. Oh, the Stanley Cup's going to be down the street.
In Carlisle, yeah.
with three of the players.
Right.
3 of the players are going to be there, too.
Wait, another lucky fucking story. Right,
I know.
You're making me self-conscious.
Now I'm starting to believe
kill myself.
it's all this luck. Everything he does, he just lucks into.
Jesus Christ.
Now I have to say, you're not brilliant, sir.
Oh, my God.
You know, the funny thing is they usually bring the Stanley Cup in here, but this year, for some reason, they passed us by, man. Usually, we have it right in front of you. You could have done both at the same time.
But you're right. The good luck of just watching after all those years, just tuning in a few months ago, and then he happens to show up where the cup is. I'm going to follow him down because I guarantee you Spielberger's there. Somebody is there.
The Carson thing, because a guy decided that his kids wanted to go to college in Boston, and he had to go to the Chinese joint.
That is fucking.
Man,
this is creepy, Steve.
Like you're adding it up. Later, I'll go to kill myself, and there'll be no bullet in the chamber.
Hey, another lucky. Look at that.
Well, the first time you have bad luck, it's going to be really bad luck.
I hear Chara, Thomas, and Bergeron are going to be there. Wow, a block away from here.
Cool.
Is it a zoo down there? Does anyone know? I mean, you'll go to the front of the line.
Yeah.
What is it? A bar? Is it a bar they're doing?
No, it's the NHL store.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's a block away from here.
What was your first bad, like, really awful stage experience? It must have been one that you were like, because we usually have that one where we're like, am I in the right fucking job here?
Well, like a couple of years in, during the early 80s, they would have the comedy clubs, but then
outside in the suburbs, like 40 minutes away or something. They'd have comedy one night, but it wasn't a comedy club.
Yeah.
And there was a place in Leominster, Mass. called Scampy's, and it was like a nightclub thing. And that was the worst thing ever, because one thing I learned was that the audience should know there's going to be a show.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was music. It was like disco music. People dancing. And maybe a little sign like this big off to the side where you come in, no one sees it. And then all of a sudden they shut the music off and the lights stop. And a guy walks out with a microphone and puts it on the dance floor. And then he started the show, and he introduced me. I came out, and it was insane.
Here's a guy that's interrupting your night.
Just blankly, it was the worst. That was the worst. What about you? Where was one of your worst?
Rascals in Ocean Township. I was working with a guy named Bob Levy, who I loved. He was a headliner who I used to... I'm just staring. I'm just making E-Rock uncomfortable.
But why? E-Rock's taking pictures.
Yeah.
While Jimmy's talking.
No, I don't mind that. It was just he wasn't in for the whole interview, and then he just comes in with his little hat and his awful fucking Lon Chaney hairdo.
Giant
just starts
flash
snapping
in
photos.
Steven's face. He's trying to talk to Jimmy.
Foot from Jimmy's face.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a zoom on it.
But it was.
Sorry.
It's all right, E-Rock. It's right.
This is what we do every day, by the way, Steve.
Attack our friends.
We attack everybody, everything, ourselves. We're just the worst.
Go ahead.
But Bobby was the host, and I used to work like the open mic in the bar area. I never worked the big room, and so Bob, who I really admired, was hosting, and like a young talent night. He brought me on, and I bombed. I actually, the only time I've ever walked off stage. I was like, it was like 7 minutes in.
You didn't finish.
Yeah, I was like, I actually said to the audience, "Am I too dirty?" And, and it was awful. And some guy, this wasn't even a good heckle, he goes, "Get a new act." Oh. And I couldn't handle that. I was like, "Ugh." And I went, "I'm sorry I wasted your time." And I walked
were you being
off.
Nice?
I was just humiliated.
Yeah.
And because it was like a validation of everything I had ever thought that was negative. Like, here it is. Like, we knew it was coming, didn't we, you fucking nothing? And here it is. When I walked off, some guy, I'll never forget this one guy, goes, "You'll get him next time." Which was a cheese dick thing to say. You know, it's like, that's great if you're a little leaguer. I'm not a 21-year-old creep who's probably going to get his dick stared at in a restroom on the way home. Parkway back in those days. Couldn't help it. Looked young. But
that is brutal.
I think it was the night before Desert Storm happened, because I remember I wanted to go on the next. I called the manager that night, the owner, Ward Magnuson, and I'm like, I'm going to get out of the business. He's like, "Oh, just soul search and see how you feel." And that, for some reason, that just resonated with me.
One night can make you just go, "I want out."
Don't you always feel for people when they come up to you and they go, "Dude, I'm 35 and I've been wanting to do that for 20 years and I just never," and I always feel like, just do it, man. Try it. I always feel for guys who say they wanted to and didn't try it. Yeah. Those guys always are.
You know how horrifying stand-up is, though, for people, like to be alone in front of people and think, if they don't laugh, I don't know, the flop sweat that would come out, the fear, the fight or flight response you'd get.
See, I don't know about Jim, but I didn't break it down like that. I was like, it was like, all right, I want to try doing this. I didn't break, like what you just described. I didn't think maybe that would happen.
Really?
I knew it might. I knew it. Who knows what's going to happen? But I didn't like.
You didn't really
break
analyze
it
like that. Yeah.
But I say to people, trying it. I say to people why I did it was I wanted to try it and either have it work or not work, but I didn't want to be doing some job like in Wyoming or doing like an accountant in Wyoming, wondering what would have happened if I tried it. So that I forced myself to do it.
Right, just because and you look back sometimes on those moments and you go, fucking thank God I didn't listen to my fear, or I didn't make that one turn that would have changed everything, and who knows what I'd be doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the odds of it? I would have won the Powerball. I would have bought a ticket and won $300 million.
You have no idea if you hadn't gone to the club that night.
Exactly. If I had been so fucking needy.
Maybe if Steven picked your numbers.
And maybe it didn't work out. Maybe there was something right around the corner we missed out on.
I might have broken down on the way home, and Bob De Niro might have picked me up.
Exactly.
And said, "Be in a movie," or whatever it was he would say to a young lad in purple workout pants.
I was gonna. I actually had to talk to my dumb ex-wife, who wasn't my ex-wife at the time, about going up to Massachusetts to do radio. And I was making probably $27,000 a year doing sheet metal work, and they offered me less than that to do radio. It was like $26,000 to do radio. Like, first, I've never done it before, so I was just like, yeah.
What do you mean you had to talk to her about it?
Because it was my wife at the time, so I had to then go back and be like, yeah, well, they offered me, $26,000. Well, you should call them up, and if you can't get more than what you're making now, you can't. And I'm like, do you understand?
She didn't see the vision. She didn't see the future. It was obvious that this was going to lead to huge things.
And I was just a pussy because she was a nasty person.
Right.
Ugh,
I can't believe you're the same person.
Oh, believe me, I can't either.
What do you mean?
No.
I was just have to talk to the wife. He doesn't talk to no wives anymore. There, right?
I was just very,
He's his own person now, sir.
Hey, let's not make any waves. All right, whatever you want.
We almost didn't do this thing, and it was obvious we had something, and Boston wanted us, and they were going to give us afternoon drive. That's crazy. We just started working together.
Unbelievable.
We worked together for a few months at that point, here and there. And then his wife at the time is like,
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, keep me in sheet metal work.
Right.
$1,000 difference.
Yeah. But, for $1,000 a year difference.
But they fork in the road, like.
Yeah. It was huge.
Yeah, because he knew what he had as a sheet metal worker. It wasn't going to get much better than that.
Oh, believe me, during the divorce, she was happy I made that decision.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
If she got a little more than a sheet metal worker would have given her.
But that's some good odds as far as gambling going. Look at this fork, what it could lead to.
And you know what? It's not like I sure gave up that sheet metal career. I could never go back to that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it could always just go back.
It was a no-brainer.
Yeah, well, somebody with no brain.
There's a lot of funny people out there, like on Twitter. You on Twitter?
Yeah.
There's a lot of. Is just Steven Wright on Twitter?
Yeah, but it's yeah.
SCEV, not PH, so people know Steven Wright to check out on Twitter. There's a lot of funny people out there. Like I laugh sometimes reading, show fans will write stuff.
Funny guys out there.
There's a lot of funny guys, and like what separates us from them? I mean, maybe we're funnier, or maybe we just did something that they went left and we went right. It's like I'm always looking at people who say I was gonna do it, but I fucking didn't do it, and it's like, oh god. If you're thinking of trying it. If you suck, so what? The worst that can happen is you bomb.
Yeah.
What are you gonna go be a cop? Like it's amazing to me how people will take such a dangerous job where you can get shot, or there'll be a fireman like, I just stay with the fire department. Yeah, God forbid they stare at you instead of running into a burning building, you fucking lunatic. What we do is easy compared to what you're doing. The risk factor.
Yeah. You'll be amazed how many people find it a lot scarier to just get up in front of everybody alone with a microphone. They'd rather run into a burning building.
Well, that stops a lot of people going for their dreams. They're scared. It comes down, you're just scared, and there's a comfort zone that you're comfortable with, obviously, so you just kind of stay in that.
I had a fear of leaving, like, Long Island. Well, I was, with my family was around and everything, and I just had this kind of agoraphobic thing of leaving the state.
With what you had going on back then, I don't blame you.
Oh, please.
It's up to him.
What? The wife? Oh, that one. No, I knew that was coming. Hey, believe me, I knew that was coming in Boston, too.
It was going with you?
Sexual situation.
Yeah, the one thing about the ex-wife, she did enjoy another female in the bed.
There's a sentence I've never heard.
They can't be all bad,
Ex-wife.
There's got to be one thing in there.
I'll never forget that we were at WBAB. I was there for 3 years and met Ann at the end of the run, and we were doing some good stuff, and they threw us a going-away party because we're going to Boston. And Ant was there maybe a half hour because he had a situation he had to take care of.
There was a girl wanted to come back. She actually said, my wife comes up to me at the time and just goes, this girl, Cindy, she wants to come home and watch us have sex. And I was like, all right, check. Like, I am so out of there.
Wait a minute. How did that happen?
They had known each other for a while.
That's a logical question.
We had all known each other.
See, he's just used to luck.
And then something that actually. Wait a minute. And then you sprinkle some alcohol. Sprinkle some alcohol over the situation, and then have these girls just yapping with each other and getting a little, intimate. I guess they both had this. I don't know. They both kind of were into girls, kind of a thing. And
your wife and this woman,
yeah,
they're
and
just
this other.
they're strangers and they're talking.
No, they kind of knew each other for about I guess for not even a year, but they were kind of friendly and shit. And then it was like, oh yeah, so my wife comes up to me and goes, hey, she wants to come back and watch us, have sex at our house. I'm like, okay. That sounds great by me. I didn't even say goodbye to anyone. I'm just like, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Where are you going?
And
this
then
is for us.
And did she just like sit in the room watching you?
No, it was. I was drinking at this party, and all I'm thinking is I got both of them. I'm in my work van that I'm not even supposed to be driving off hours, and I'm just thinking if I get pulled over now and get a DWI, I'm just gonna kill myself. I have to tell the cop, like, look.
You gotta let me do this.
It's me or you, officer. If you try to arrest me, I will have to try to kill you because I'm gonna have sex with 2 girls right now.
You understand, right, sir?
And he'd be all right. Go ahead.
I think there's a few officers out there
they
that
probably
would let you off on that one.
We got home and it was kind of awkward, like how you start that shit out. So it was like the girls were in the living room. And I want to get started right away. Enough of this yapping. So I was like, well, let me take a shower. So I'm like, I jump in the shower and figure that'll get going. And then when I pop out, they're kind of on the couch having a little fun. So I just kind of jumped in with just a towel on, knowing that could come off pretty easy.
But wait a minute.
Yeah.
The woman said she wanted to watch you have sex.
Yeah,
but did you think you knew that could mean something else?
I assumed
because I would have thought I would have. You want to? Okay, so
just
I would have said,
watch.
why are you over here? You're gonna watch. What are you doing?
Yeah, you're fucking this whole thing up. You're just supposed to be watching.
This was not the plan.
Don't participate.
Your toes are supposed to be behind the tape on that line.
You know what that's about? You're fucking up my OCD, man.
An OCD guy.
You said watch.
There's a concept there. Whoa, man, you're fucking me
You
up.
both have to jerk me off with your left hands. Stop with the righty-lefty stuff. It's killing me.
I knew.
That's a good concept right there.
I knew when she said watch
OCD guy.
that meant she was going to, jump in.
Yeah, usually, because women don't want to admit that they're going to jump into a threesome. They don't want to commit to it.
Yeah.
She wanted to make sure that she could get out of it if she wanted to.
Yeah,
what reasons?
Who knows? He's creepy. He's got an awful dick.
Yeah, it's like shopping, you got to see what's going on first. If I'm there just belting my wife in the face,
or if you said, hold on a second, and then you went and you took a really loud shit.
Yeah, perhaps she would have just watched or left or fled.
What a mood killer that would have been.
Yeah, that would have been. I wasn't going to do that.
Did you hear they traded?
One of those loud echoey, no carpet in the bathroom shits. Yeah, that would have been great. That would have wrecked your whole vibe.
We had talked about it before, like me and the wife had talked about it before, but never did it. So this was the first time, and I was very self-conscious of looking like I was having too much a good time with the other girl.
Right.
Because then I didn't want to blow the whole thing up. So I had to I was having sex with the other girl, but when the other girl wasn't looking at me, I had to look at the wife and be like, look at her lovingly.
Right.
And
Give her
this.
fake attention?
Yeah. Like a little brush on the knee. Like, that's good. You're still in the room. This is great.
Did you also have to look at her like you weren't enjoying the other girl as much as you really were?
Yes, I almost had to be like, this is what it is. You know what it is.
It's all old hat. She's no you, honey.
Yeah.
I'm sure she sucks it down to the root, but she's no you. I prefer your gagging, pulling hairs out of your throat.
And that was like at some point the wife had to get up to go to the bathroom or something, and then the other girl just kneels down and went down on me as I'm sitting on the couch, and that was like the point I think I said, I just don't want to be married anymore. Yeah. I was like, this is a brand new girl.
So the wife did it to herself.
Yes, I was always saying that.
She did it to herself.
I was always saying that. Because and then when the second time rolled around, and we were in New York, and I got an ultimatum.
What second time of what?
The three, might have had a couple
with
of these.
three girls.
Same girl?
No, different girl.
All right.
That ended up being like, well, I don't, you're giving this girl a lot of attention. And then we'd wake up and Saturday morning, hungover and shit. And the wife would always say, like, I don't mind this, but, I don't want you doing anything when I'm not around. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. So she would go into the bathroom, and the second I'd hear the shower go on, I'm just fucking this other girl and stuff. Just like, yeah. And then you'd hear the shower shut off, and we'd both just, all right, put on Nickelodeon, whatever. I'm like,
Your wife did it to you herself.
She did.
She was like the drug dealer. She gave you a little taste.
Yeah, gave me a taste.
She gave you the taste.
But then the girl that was in that situation, I started kind of getting a little attached to, and she was cool and shit. So I started kind of spending a little time with her, and the wife was like, look, I don't like this. It's either me or her. I was like, oh, the ultimatum. Well, I'll see you in court.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Never try to bluff unless you know the outcome.
That was it. That was
hit the bricks.
The end of that marriage.
She didn't wonder why you were putting Vaseline in the tub, saying, honey, go in there and take a shower. While me and the other girl sit out here.
It was a very odd situation. Yeah, it was pretty odd.
How long did you stay with that girl?
With the wife?
No, the one that you...
Yeah.
Oh, the other one? It was like 9 years. Yeah.
9 years with the third...
the third girl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever have another woman?
Nope, that was it. It was just me and her.
Yeah,
Didn't cheat.
Ant's
I was
a
a
good
good
boy.
boy. Didn't do anything.
Ant was a fucking good guy.
But if a girl is gonna friggin' dangle that in front of my face like that and say, "Oh, I'd like to, it'd be cool if we could get another girl in there because I kind of like girls," I was like, "Plip! I'll have this done in a minute."
You should have hired them though. You should have got escorts because I had a threesome with a girl one time, and let's just say we
Did
hired.
he like it too?
Well, it's funny you ask that. Maybe I watched a girlfriend one time do a little something, but
really?
yeah, but I hired somebody because.
Oh, you hired someone?
Yep, hired somebody because you knew.
Even with you and your girlfriend?
Yeah.
See, that wouldn't do it for me.
It did it for me because she enjoyed it, and it was dirty, but I knew it was a guy. And he didn't fuck her. It was just like, I watched him play a little bit. But I didn't want to get a regular guy because a regular guy all of a sudden gets attached.
See, that
or
to
whatever.
Me,
to me, this was a
imagine
professional
that
who would
part of
leave.
it.
And we didn't want to hang. It was nothing like, I can't even believe that this girl did this.
I can't imagine that angle.
She wasn't a long-term girlfriend. She was somebody I was kind of seeing. But it was still something that had potential. And she wanted to do it. And I'm like, fuck it. Like, I didn't know where it was going to go. But I couldn't just get somebody over. I'm like, you know what? That's too risky. Because then what if they get attached to her? They know where she is. Fuck that.
It would have to be two girls and no pros. Just like, Long Island white trash. Like I said, that's my type.
Yeah,
I love that Casey Anthony girl, that murderer. I love her. She's great.
Why do you love her?
Because she's my type. She's
your type.
batshit crazy.
He's serious,
and
Steven.
complete white trash.
He is
I
serious.
love that.
Oh, you know what I mean? On trial for murder.
Nah, no, but she's crazy.
But he's convinced she's going to get off, and then maybe he's got a shot.
And open a nightclub.
He's going
Something like that.
He's going to be a pen pal.
I have extra rooms at the house. I wouldn't mind her moving in.
Yeah,
I don't have kids. Who cares? What's she going to do?
We were talking about this earlier. He's going to write a letter.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
trying to get
yeah.
something. Yeah.
I keep,
Are you really?
Yes, he's
like
serious.
those guys who
No, I'm
get,
actually
usually
not.
it's a guy in prison, right? And
I don't
some
think-
woman
yeah.
ends up marrying him. You're going to do that with her?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I don't think my girlfriend would like that very much, so no. I do have a relationship.
She would
going on
understand,
here.
though. If you fuck Casey Anthony once, your chick would understand that you're doing it for the show.
I'm just doing it for the show.
Yeah, and for the press.
That for the show.
Yeah, something to talk
that
about.
for the show stuff doesn't really work.
I didn't want
wash.
to come. It was fodder for conversation. Silly.
That was a business
She was
move.
up on Murder One.
Yeah.
You have to for the story.
Yeah, it's, believe me, I'm writing off the hotel room.
Right.
It was all business.
And let me further promote, too, because Steven's been promoting
Yes.
a gig. We worked together. We did Leary's Comics Come Home. And it was the first time I was ever get to be on
right.
stage.
Yeah.
It was
Ken
not-
Neely's deal.
Yeah, it was
that
great.
was a
We used to
good
go.
night.
We used to
Great
go
night.
every year, man. What a great lineup!
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
kind
it
of
was
bummed
fun.
they stopped filming that damn thing because I can't get up there every year now.
Did they
Years
stop
now.
filming it?
Yeah, years ago.
I wonder if the comics put a stop to
Unfortunately.
that.
Huh?
I wonder if the comedians said no. Maybe comedians stopped signing off.
I don't know. Maybe it was just time to move on from that. But that Comics Come Home every year is great.
Steven will be at the Newport Yachting Center. I'm trying to see what day of the week this is. It is
Thursday.
Oh, Thursday, July 21st. So there's plenty of time. It will obviously sell out. It's in Middletown, Rhode Island. NewportComedy.com. And, if you want to call and get tickets, 800-745-3000. But it was like watching you on stage. I had never seen you live, only on television. And it was fucking hilarious, man. I mean, there was like 6,000 people there, and he just murdered. It gives you faith in audiences when you see a guy not doing bullshit and not overselling stuff and doing real jokes and just killing. And you're like, all right, well,
you had a great set that night too.
Yeah, they were good.
Excellent.
Thank you. They were a good crowd, man. It was a fun night. No, I don't think anybody ate their balls. Although you're always kind of rooting for that, It's like you're always kind of rooting for someone to bomb.
Someone's got to go down,
yeah.
First time I saw her was in the cellar.
Oh God, right?
Like a year and a half ago, maybe.
Yep.
Excellent. Fantastic.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, man. And one of the comedians was really nervous that you were there. This guy, Anthony. Anthony Jeselnik. He was really nervous that Steven.
Really?
Yeah. Like he
Big fan.
Yeah, he loves Steven, and he wanted to perform well. And I don't know how he did, but I heard it wasn't as good as he had hoped.
Ooh.
Which I'm really hoping that's true. If anybody knows Anthony,
I got a question for Steven. Did you ever feel the pressure of changing your delivery because you're so unique and kind of monotone? Do you ever feel like I need to get more energetic? Obviously, it works. I'm not questioning that at all. But you're so unique. Did you feel like, oh boy, maybe I should change this up? Maybe earlier in the career or something?
No, it was what later.
There's not
on,
a lot of guys like you at all.
You mean later on or in the beginning?
Probably no. You know what you're doing. Obviously, I'm talking in the beginning.
No,
because you hit that stage and extremely unique compared to everybody else.
There was no like how you're thinking about it. I didn't think about it.
Right.
All I did was try to write jokes that I thought was funny.
But that's a lot of confidence.
The rest, no, it was innocence. It was like it was like how I was saying it. It didn't even enter my mind. I was just trying to write things that maybe they'll laugh at this. It wasn't until a year later in the Boston Phoenix someone wrote an article about me and it said no monotone deadpan, and I was like, deadpan, maybe.
Is that good?
Maybe I guess I am monotone. I guess I never even thought about it my entire life.
Sure.
So I didn't break it down like you are. It was like just the jokes. The whole rest of it was like it just was happening.
But watching from the outside, you hit, and everyone's like, "What?"
But not even
wow.
Not even the delivery stuff, but just the jokes themselves are very unique.
The whole act is unique,
and it seems like when you tell a joke, you kind of look at it like, well, why the fuck didn't I think of that? Like it's pretty much an observation of everyday life, but you do twist it around. It's a very unique talent. And were you doing that like at 8 years old, just kind of?
No, I didn't write around jokes till that.
No, not writing. I couldn't write. Working on my penmanship.
I would remember liking words. Like I remember saying the word premises over and over for no reason when I was like 14.
Till it doesn't sound like it anymore.
And I remember being in junior high, sitting with some guys saying, "Imagine a flock of false teeth." I mean, that's not an actual joke, but it was just like funny. Layering concepts.
And it sounds nice.
With
it
words.
Feels good coming. A flock of false teeth. It's almost something that could get you slapped in the face, and yet it's totally clean. There's something pleasing about saying that. It's pleasing to the palate to say a flock of false teeth.
But it is a lot of stuff where you're like, wow, goddamn, that's brilliant. That it's right in front of your face.
Well, those
are
the best jokes. They're not. Most of them aren't like that, but the best ones are the ones that when you think of it. And then it's like, wow, this has been sitting there.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen this.
A little bit of sand has been over it.
Yeah. Blew it away a little bit.
It's like, don't you think?
Yes.
Ones that are like obvious, but no one did it yet.
Do you know, as we're talking,
your toe on it.
Exactly.
For the sand.
Another luck thing you mean?
Yeah.
Look at that joke. That is a perfect joke. Someone's on this beach right now.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's hilarious.
I truly don't believe that, by the way.
No, it's funny.
I think you're brilliant and you deserve everything you got, but it's this luck thing is kind of funny today.
I will never again literally hear the phrase like that's a small world without in my head tagging it with, but I wouldn't want to paint it. It's like what a that was made to be a setup. It's a small world. That's a semicolon after world. Yeah. And he fucking picked it up and you're right, that's exactly it. It's like and there it is. That's gem.
You know, it's jokes. It's funny goddamn jokes, which makes the act, man.
Who did you like coming up? When you were young, who did you kind of look at?
Well, I watched Johnny all the time. I loved Robert Klein.
Yeah. Love Klein. Love him.
Amazing.
You ever see Robert Klein at Yale? But he's talking about the Mummers Day parade, and he's wearing that awful sweater. You probably had seen this, one of his specials from Yale. He's one of the greatest.
Him and David Brenner and Pryor and Bill Cosby and Carlin. My main guys were Carlin and Woody Allen. There was a radio show in Boston. Every Sunday night they played 2 comedy albums. The guy would play one cut from one to the other, back and forth, so he played both albums. I stumbled on this around the same age I was starting to watch Johnny, like 15. Had a radio in bed with me, and every Sunday I tuned in, and I heard both albums, laying there in the dark, listening, and I was like, I think I was studying it without knowing. I was just loved it so much, and I thought, I like what that guy's doing. Oh, that's interesting. And Woody Allen did a double stand-up album before he made movies. It was called The Stand-Up Years, double album. And I heard that, and it was like, that's amazing. The writing of the jokes, the way he wrote stuff. So him and Carlin were my main guys.
Oh, wow. I think Woody might be, because Pryor and Carlin were social geniuses, and Woody might be the best pure joke writer ever.
I agree.
It was from 62, 63. And it's whatever 64 maybe, and it has none of that stuff has been. That was in the era of Take My Wife, Please,
right? Yeah.
And fucking Woody comes out with this brilliant. It's still funny. I still listen to it. I'm like awed by how great he was at writing jokes.
I just saw his new movie. Excuse me, the other night. It was unbelievable.
I heard it's really good.
At midnight, fantastic.
Midnight in Paris, right?
Yeah. I've seen the movies over the years, and I think, that's good, that's pretty good, that's good, and I was blown away by this one.
Wow.
I might go see it again. I very rarely go see the movie twice while it's in the theater, maybe 3 times in the last 15 years.
He still writes on a typewriter.
He does?
He's a weird guy. Yeah, he uses a typewriter to write. He does not use a computer. He's
That's
like one of
probably
those
makes him comfortable.
He likes that feeling. Probably.
Yeah, probably makes him comfortable.
That's good. I acted on a typewriter.
What did you find, or what attracted you to Carson? Like, what did you like about Johnny and that show?
He was, I don't know, he was likable, and he was like, to do that new material every night, that new 5 minutes. I can't really. I loved him. I don't even know what it was like.
I watched him all the time too. I watched him all the time growing up, and there was just something so likable about the guy.
Yeah.
And just funny, goofy, like the Mighty Carson art players, and when he'd do those bits and his monologue, like he wasn't afraid to acknowledge that a joke bombed, and it made it even funnier.
That was the thing. The joke either worked or he made it funny because it didn't work. It always worked.
No one else was really goofing on the fact that their jokes didn't work back then either. It's like,
and he knew how to handle, like he knew how to laugh. And they said he never tried to be the star. He was the funniest guy in the room, but he just lobbed them up and then stepped back and let you.
Exactly.
He never competed with his guests to be funnier or smarter than they were.
And how many times did you do the Tonight Show?
About 12.
About 12 times?
Wow. And he was just like what you said. I mean, he wanted you to get the laughs. He wanted you, he just set it up like he was so smooth, too. He could talk to anybody. A scientist, a 5-year-old kid, an actor. Yeah, anyone. It was always smooth. It was never an awkward conversation.
And you never noticed, like the setups. You never wondered, how does he know he went scuba diving? Who the fuck told him? You never realized.
Yeah, you never thought of that.
It never occurred to me. Yeah. Someone told me, and it was flawless. I remember when I was a kid, I didn't understand the reference, but it's one of I remember this, and I laughed because something about I knew was funny, and I still don't even get it. I really don't. But he's talking about someone. It's like doing the polka with Phyllis Schlafly, and I didn't know who the fuck Phyllis.
Who is she?
I still don't know, but I know she's awful, and doing the polka with her would stink.
It was something he wouldn't have been fond of.
She was some arch conservative, I think.
Phyllis what?
Phyllis Schlafly. But I just remember knowing, and I think it got a 0, the joke.
She does look horrible.
I remember when he would say for certain amounts of money, like if someone got $1 million for doing something, he would say, for that amount of money, I would wrestle someone naked in Macy's window. That was his term for a big money thing that he would do.
I guess she was a political conservative
right?
activist. So, yeah, dancing the polka with her probably wouldn't be that
I don't
fun.
remember what it was. I just remember the polka with Phyllis Schlafly, and I just thought, what a funny thing to say.
Did you ever pick up, because I picked up some of those Carson discs when they were selling them on television. And some of those moments are just timeless, man. And you see these just huge stars. Bob Hope comes out, and Sinatra's there with Dean Martin, and they're goofing on what's his name? Oh God, I can't remember that guy's name. Yeah, like little comic with the glasses.
Not Rickles.
No, the guy with he made the
Goebel.
George Goebel.
George Goebel.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
right.
they're flicking ashes in his drink, and like that whole thing. That was a time
different
gone
time.
by.
Yeah,
They're
amazing, like,
smoking and drinking. Like, could you imagine a guest coming out on a talk show with a real drink and a cigarette? You wouldn't see that anymore. But it was just so accepted.
They give you a belt before the Tonight Show if you want one, though. They have one now. They bring around booze.
Yeah, you loosen up a
if
little
anybody
bit.
wants it,
To calm the nerves a bit.
Yeah, I guess so. So I'm surprised nobody's ever gone out really loaded. I mean, like back in those days they did, but I'm surprised now nobody does.
Oh, yeah.
There's a clip of Ed McMahon just hammered off his ass one night, and Johnny acknowledges it, and he's slurring and just a wreck, but it was hysterically funny. And he would have been fired now.
Of
Now
course.
it's just like, well, you're drunk on the job, you got to go. Then it was just like,
No one
really,
panicked.
Ed? He just looked over and, really, Ed? Like, and you just knew, like, oh, fuck, here it goes.
One of the famous Johnny moments is the Ed Ames clip, and everybody's seen it.
yeah.
It's one of the most famous moments in TV where if anyone didn't see it, he played Tonto in The Lone Ranger,
Yep.
and he was showing Johnny how to throw a tomahawk.
At a silhouette.
At a silhouette against a wall. And he accidentally, the tomahawk point goes right into the cock.
Yeah.
And the great thing is when you watch the explosion of laughter, Ed Ames goes to walk and remove it, and Johnny just puts his hand out and just stops him.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
knew you cannot fuck with this laugh.
Just let it go. And during that whole time it's laughing, too, Johnny's mind is rolling because he comes out with a joke right after the crowd starts settling down a little bit.
I
Timed,
didn't even know you were Jewish.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was the joke.
Fuck.
Bam. Yeah, he just nailed him with that.
1963.
Yeah, yep.
To fire that out on television.
Brilliant,
but
man.
to see the instincts of a guy. Oh, yeah, Sam has got it up right now. It is weird when we go on this show.
Yeah, I know, right?
Overhanded.
I wish I didn't blow it.
The trick is to keep your arm extended, and that way you break the microphone. You keep your arm extended and
a suit on, which
put
is odd.
only one revolution on the once around on the way. But that's indefinite.
They're playing Indian. Yeah, look at him. Nope, don't take it. It's brilliant, man.
Just waiting for that laugh. Johnny's sharpening a tomahawk. He's holding it.
Yeah, he's just looking at it.
It's still in the crotch.
I didn't even know you were Jewish.
Bigger laugh. Then a bigger laugh.
What timing.
It's just brilliant, man.
When you watch him reaching for you can see the eye like settling the room.
Just settle the room down a little bit and then nail him between the eyes with
Do you know
that
how
one.
easily he could have blown that moment?
Yeah.
By tripping on it or saying it too soon?
Welcome to Frontier Bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a wave, but
Surfing it.
fucking.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, he's got it. He wants to see the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
This was great, man. I had a lot of fun.
Steven,
You'd love to come back.
Unbelievable
we'd love
having
to
you
have
in.
you back.
I want you to
Great,
sign a
man.
photo of you and I together.
Of course you
So
do.
why don't we do this? Steven Wright promoting Newport Yachting Center, July 21st, 7:30 show. NewportComedy.com. Obviously, you should go and check this out if you're in the area.
Oh, hell yeah.
1-800-745-3000 for tickets. Steven Wright on Twitter, Steven, right? And that's it, man. This was a pleasure for us.
Yeah,
man.
what a blast.
Yeah,
man.
it was good having you.
Yeah, a lot
Finally,
of fun.
we
A lot
had
of
Steven
fun.
Wright on our
I know,
show. How
right?
cool is that?
Yeah, and check him out July 21st. He's just one of the greats of all time,
Absolutely.
as you guys know.
All right, we're going to finish up with another great comic next.
Oh, God, not Bobo.
When you need radio gold, he's the one that you call. With crappy movie reviews, wears his shirts extra small. The one you can count on the book, a guest for a session, but ends every single sentence he says in a question. No pronunciation. talking soft-spoken and mumbles. Just try and put him behind the mic and he crumbles. Babbling moron, that's for you to decide. Bonadouche, check him out Friday wide. It's rolling, 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 rolling. It's rolling, 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 rolling. It's rolling, 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 rolling. It's rolling, 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 rolling.
It's good. I mean, had action, suspense.
Gregorio! Antonio!
Amy.